Welcome to this video on the processing section of the 901 results grid. The processing section, which is this left-hand area of the results grid, to the left of this thin grey line, is made up of 6 columns. The first column, headed up VI, which stands for Visual Indicator, is a way for the system to advise the user that a change has happened to a specific record since the list was initially drawn. It allows the user to consider the change and decide if they should act upon it. There are 3 visual indicators. A blue M shows that a transaction has been entered into the ledger, which has changed the value in the figures displayed in the financial section, and the new balance is being displayed. A red A shows that this record has an approved tick in place, a transaction has been entered into the client's ledger, and the ledger value is now different to the figure displayed in the financial section, because the value when the record was approved is retained. The green S shows that the original value in the financial section has changed as a result of a client's tax return being synchronized. The second column is the selection column. To process any 901 records, the record must first be selected. Selections can be made individually by clicking in the boxes, or you can select all by clicking on the top here. The next column is the approved column. A record must be approved to allow that record to be processed through to sending out a 901 email or a letter. The ability to approve and unapprove records is a Joe admin setting. Approving a record locks in the values displayed and ensures that the figures stated at the time of the approval are retained. The values going through to the email or letter can only be changed by the record being unapproved first. Approving records is done by clicking individually in the box against a record, like that. Alternatively, you can highlight rows using the Shift and Control key, right click and approve highlighted rows. And it tells you 4 records have been approved or however many selected. If you have rows that have already been selected, I'll just demonstrate some here. I can right click on these and approve selected rows. If I now make any choices or highlight any rows that have already been approved and selected, when I right click on these, I just get the option to unapprove the selected rows or unapprove the highlighted rows. The final 3 rows, processed, posted and completed, are populated automatically with ticks by the system as the record is processed through as applicable. When an email is sent or a letter produced, the system will place a tick next to the record in the process column. If your practice uses pay or APS transactions and they're generated for a record, using these options at the top, the system will place a tick next to the record in the posted column. Finally, when the completion process is carried out against a record or records, then the system will put a tick next to those records in the completed column and grey out the line as well to show that the records have been completed. With the necessary Joe admin rights, a user can reactivate a completed record by right-clicking on the line and selecting Reactivate this 901 record. Filters can be applied against any of these 4 end columns, so I just want to see records that have been approved. I can just click on that to see those, and it shows me in red that a filter is in place. Or those that haven't been approved. And that same is applicable for the processed, posted and completed.